I'm Sean and I'm going to review my own car. And this is my ML63 AMG. It's a 2014 model. 2014-2015s have some unique features that are not found in older models. One of those things is the 360 camera, which is one reason why I got this, because it was available in the 2014 and 2015. There are 4 cameras around this car, and they are extremely helpful. You can go between all kinds of modes. You can view only the front on either side, only the rear on either side, just the front, just the back, and this does have a towing attachment mode, so the camera is right up here and it will zoom in or right down there, so you can couple a trailer, and it is phenomenal in that aspect, and I'll get more into the towing capability as we go along here. But this guy has got a 5.5 liter twin turbo V8. It is tuned and it produces 670 horsepower, 760 foot-pounds of torque. And it also produces, me not being able to remember where this hood latch is, because I got it in February. And there we go. It is a little bit dusty. It's pollen. Welcome to the East Coast. So this guy, crammed in here, produces all of the horsepower and torque you could possibly want in a not exactly large SUV, but coincidentally it happens to be very similar dimensions to this Astro van. So here we've got this guy. If you didn't know, if you see one like this, not the mesh grille, that indicates it has Distronic cruise control. That is radar controlled cruise control. It is wonderful. It is Distronic Plus. It'll bring you completely to a stop. It has crash prevention, so it senses if there's a potential incident happening in front of you, and it will adjust speed and hit the brakes as necessary, which is absolutely wonderful. We've got parking sensors, 6 of them on the front, 4 of them on the back. There's indicators on the dash and in the back, so you can use those, but it also shows up on the screen where it will show the car in the 360 camera and show you which sensor is going off and how close you are. So that is another benefit of having one of these with the size that it is and everything. When I go to pull it in here, it's particularly good so I don't hit that car, because that would be expensive. But I use it all the time when I pull it in here, and it works out great for that. The interior has got all kinds of creature comforts. We've got a nice deep console that you can keep random stuff in there. We've got storage up here. We've got climate controlled cup holders. You didn't know you needed that, but you do. Also inside, we've got our suspension and drivetrain controls, so we can go between Sport, Sport Plus, and Normal here. We've got Manual, Comfort, and Sport here. Manual will be with the paddle shifters. And then Comfort starts in second gear. It's kind of gradual rolling in, and Sport truly is sporty. Throttle response is picked up. It starts at first gear. It's got a lot more go to it. We have a lift where we can lift it. I believe it's 1 inch or 1.5 inches for greater clearance through snow, that kind of thing. That only works up to about 40 miles an hour, and it goes back down. And then we have a downhill button. So if we're creeping off-road, perhaps towing going downhill, we can do various controls with downhill. So it's going to use the transmission instead of the brakes. Also the cup holders, when you turn it to cold, turns blue, warm turns red, and then it's amber with the rest of the interior lighting, which, by the way, under here, under the dash, you can only choose between, I think, 5 different colors on that, but you can fool with the ambient lighting a little bit. I also have a K40 built in with laser jamming front and rear. We've got the sensor for parking sensors. Again, it shows up on the display here. We've got garage door opener built in, panoramic sunroof, leather interior. It is nice and comfortable. Speedometer does register 200. I don't think it's capped now. I think these will do 180 miles an hour, I think is what I saw somewhere. But I probably won't find out because that just seems kind of sketchy in this thing. After all, it is an SUV. Got the wood interior. This one does not have an enormous amount of options on it, but even stock, it is quite delightful. Heated and ventilated seats as well. These fold down. Your headrests actually go up in the back, so that's fun. We've got a lot of cargo space in the back, and all these will fold completely flat, so this is extremely practical. This does have the tow package on it as well. So, as I mentioned before, it is capable of towing, and I think that's something that is very, very not mentioned about these things. The entire ML series is actually very good at towing. The ML63 in particular, especially with tuning it, is pretty ridiculous. This thing can tow 7,200 pounds. Again, this is not a massive SUV. We're talking about smaller than a Tahoe, smaller than a Suburban, with similar towing capabilities. I have actually had a car trailer on here, or a trailer with a car on it, and it doesn't know that it's there. It is absolutely ridiculous. This thing still accelerates like a normal car while towing. Now, it's also very smart. When you plug in the trailer, it sees the wiring. It then checks the lights to see if they all work on the trailer. You don't have to. And if that wasn't enough, it also adjusts trailer braking automatically based on the traction control in the car. And it disables your blind spot monitoring because otherwise the trailer would constantly be setting it off. So it makes all of the necessary adjustments so you don't have errors, you don't have any type of indications that are not accurate while doing it, and it knows that as soon as you plug that trailer in. So this, in actuality, I do believe is one of the best towing vehicles that you can get without getting into like a Duramax or something like that. From a practicality standpoint, super comfortable, plenty of room, seats 5 comfortably. You can tow 7,200 pounds, and this thing is fast. It's going to be 0 to 60 in low 4s, probably around 4.1, 4.2 seconds. Quarter mile, this would run around low 12s, maybe a mid 12. So it is still very quick. It is all-wheel drive, and these things are also incredible in snow when you don't have summer tires on it like I do, which will be going away before next winter. I've had this since February. I bought it in Chicago, and the first thing I did was drive it home. So I've only had this thing for not even 2 months. I've put almost 3,000 miles on it, and that's including all this time in quarantine where I'm not driving it as much. And I think it's definitely a great purchase. I definitely do not regret it. It does everything that I wanted it to do, and I love it. White is one of the best colors you can get this in. Black is the most common. It's very rare that you see them in another color, but the white does look very good, though I'm not generally a white car kind of guy. And that is my quick and dirty run through and reviewing my own Mercedes Benz ML63 AMG.